reality of sexual encounters. As someone who identifies as bisexual and enjoys participating in both penetrative and receptive roles, I've encountered numerous instances where gay men have fallen short in delivering satisfying sexual experiences. In contrast, women, particularly those with prior experience, tend to be more adept at providing pleasure. It's disheartening to think that I've had to educate someone multiple times on the fundamentals of sex, including the importance of lubrication and foreplay. Despite my efforts to convey these essential aspects, the individual continued to disregard my advice and ignored my warnings. The final straw occurred when they disregarded my boundaries entirely, inserting themselves into me without consent, and then proceeded to steal $200 from my wallet while I was momentarily distracted. Their actions left me feeling utterly disenchanted with the world and its inhabitants, prompting me to reevaluate my interactions with others. I'm sick of slimy men, constantly just pushing for sex right off the bat and behaving like horny slavering dogs. All I ask is to go on a couple of dates, not even expensive before you have a go at me, but to go for coffee, walks, museums, etc., and they act like that is tea. I'm fed up with the sleazy behavior of some men. They make it clear they're only interested in one thing, jumping into bed as soon as possible, and it's like they're driven by primal urges. All I'm asking for is a chance to get to know someone over a couple of casual dates, nothing too extravagant, perhaps a coffee, a stroll, or a visit to the museum. But it seems like that's too much to ask from them. I recently met a guy who initially seemed promising, but things took a turn when we started discussing a casual walk. He suggested we meet in a secluded spot, implying something more intimate than I was comfortable with. The fact that he's just 25 years old makes it even more disturbing. I'm not suggesting every man is like this, but it's disheartening to encounter so many who behave in this manner. It's time for men to take responsibility and treat others with respect. TLDR: women's frustration with the behavior of some men who prioritize sex over getting to know someone. PA: woman is claiming I 21 am the father of her 8-year-old daughter. She is threatening me with family court. A week ago a woman came knocking on my front door. When I answered, she claimed that I am the father of her 8-year-old daughter. I'm 21 and male. The problem is I have unexpected situation recently. I've found myself entangled in a complicated situation. A woman recently appeared at my doorstep and made a shocking claim that I am the biological father of her 8-year-old daughter. This woman's assertion poses a significant problem, as I've never had the opportunity to meet her prior to her visit and, more importantly, I've never been intimate with anyone. As I struggle to comprehend the nature of this claim, the situation has escalated further. Today, I've been confronted with a threat to involve me in a family court dispute over child support, should I not acknowledge the child as mine. I'm at a loss for how to navigate this situation, and I'm seeking any guidance that could help me make a sound decision in this perplexing circumstance. Neighborhood Homeowners Association not allowing my permanently disabled friend to build a ramp to access their front door. My friend is wheelchair-bound indefinitely. When getting a contractor to come and make some accessibility modifications to their home, the homeowners ASIC. Huntsville Homeowners Association conflict. Accessibility restrictions. A long-standing dispute has emerged between a neighborhood homeowners association and a permanently disabled resident in Huntsville, Alabama. The disabled individual, confined to a wheelchair, requires essential modifications to their home to ensure safe and independent access. However, the homeowners association is refusing to grant permission for the installation of a simple wooden ramp with rails at the front entrance. The disabled residents' situation is particularly challenging, as they require the ramp for long-term accessibility. The association's denial of the modification request has raised concerns about the impact on the individual's quality of life. Critics argue that this decision is morally and ethically questionable, as it prevents a disabled person from making necessary adjustments to their home. Under the Americans with Disabilities Act, AITA, and Alabama state laws, it is uncertain whether the Homeowners Association has the authority to restrict accessibility modifications for a disabled individual. It is crucial to examine the association's governing documents and local regulations to determine if they have the power to deny such requests. If the association's actions are found to be discriminatory or in conflict with state and federal laws, they may face legal consequences. Edit. Please note that the Americans with Disabilities Act, AITA, and other relevant laws may protect the rights of disabled individuals. My 28 meters GF27F called me, Ben 10 inches during sex. I think she might be cheating. How'd I check? So my GF and I are doing it this morning and we're doing it missionary and it's really good. At one point she screams out, "Give it to me, Ben. My name isn't Ben." She then pauses and says, concern over a mysterious nickname during intimacy. My 28-year-old girlfriend, who is 27 years old, referred to me as Ben 10 inches during our intimate encounter this morning, while we were in the missionary position and it was going well. At one point, she exclaimed, "Give it to me, Ben. My name isn't Ben," and then paused, saying, 10, give it to me, Ben 10. Oh yeah, you love making Gwen happy, don't you? The reference to Gwen caught me off guard. Later, she seemed embarrassed and confessed that she had a strong infatuation with Ben 10 from her childhood, as it was her first crush. However, I'm beginning to wonder if she might be hiding something. Is it possible that there's a man named Ben out there, or is she genuinely telling the truth about her childhood crush? Am I overreacting? TLDR. Girlfriend has a reported Ben 10 inches fetish. Racism hurts. I was called the N-word by a white man today. This was my first non-virtual interaction with a human being in a while. I can't put into words how sad I feel. I am an immigrant in the US and my tolerance for verbal abuse is high, but today's interaction just broke the pain of prejudice today. I experienced firsthand the devastating impact of racism. A stranger, a white man, hurled a racial slur at me. It had been some time since I'd interacted with someone in person, and this unexpected encounter left me heartbroken. As an immigrant in the United States, I've grown accustomed to coping with verbal attacks. Yet, today's encounter shook me to my core. It's disheartening to feel like I'm viewed as less than others, an inferior being in the eyes of society. This perception is not only painful but also a heavy burden to carry. I acknowledge that not everyone holds racist views, but the weight of such prejudice feels overwhelming. It's a sobering reminder that I'm not alone in this struggle, and it's a harsh reality that I face in both my professional and social life. A message to those who would perpetuate hate: please, refrain from racist behavior. The pain it causes is immense, and it's a burden no one deserves to bear. I volunteered to do my aunt, uncle's laundry to take money out of their pockets, so I lived with my aunt and uncle when I was about 17 years old and in high school. I had no money and I was absolutely terrified to ask them for anything. They wouldn't let me get a job because they